Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 916 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. I have some bad news. Are you sitting down? I forgot my water, so let me be right back. Allow me. Do not prevent me, I guess. There we go. Please don't be lukewarm. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Ugh. Now, because this is an OBS stream, check this out. We are going to have a small buffer at the beginning of this stream while I do the promo on the internet. So, one second. Also, while I get plugged into chat, of which there's nobody in there. Oh, never mind. Mrs. Triple G, I think I broke my PC. Very sad day. And, well, hey, I did 2 rhymes. And it's time to post the thing. I'm the only person who gets a kick out of that shit because there's something very satisfying about randomly improvising rhymes, but I feel like everybody else is just rolling their eyes listening to it. Okay, let me see. We took a lot of photos. You know what? We're going to do a really basic bitch, really boring photo I just clipped off Twitter for our paper promo for the day. If you want to see what this super secret picture is, follow Brian Hello on Instagram. I feel like such a shill right now. I didn't say that. All right. 916. I think I got the number right. You guys have more information on what number it is than me because I have all this other stuff pulled up that's like in the way. But you guys are on the stream yourselves. You can see all one people who are on the stream right now. Okay, we are plugged in. You broke your PC. You think you did. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Either you did or you didn't. I mean, here, sometimes computers brick. I used to have an old I still have the old Alienware computer, and it actually works, but it would, like, shut off, and it would never get turned back on. And I'm using the word never hyperbolically, because it eventually would power back on, but at a completely random time outside of my control. And my dad called it bricking. It's what old computers did back in the day. Like, apparently, with old electronics, it would just shut off with no explanation, and you'd have to spend $3,000 buying another thing. Could happen at any time, you know? It's kind of similar to having a house in Moore, Oklahoma, you know? You finish building your house, and at a completely random time outside of your control, a tornado could come in, you know? An F5 tornado could come in, destroy your house, and you have to build another one and waste all your retirement money. And I mean, there's something about just having your entire livelihood reliant on nothing but chance that I think inflates the value of your life. I mean, it's interesting because there was a video by a really good YouTuber, my favorite YouTuber, Emp Lemon, and it's a video called 2 Days in Moore, Oklahoma, where the bulk of the video is about how there were, you know, during the founding of our country, the Oklahoma Sooners, where it's just a bunch of people, a bunch of colonists who cheated their way to Oklahoma land. There was a rule. There would be a little bit of a foot race or a wagon race to see who could, you know, call dibs on an acre of land first. And of course, before the bell was rung and before people were allowed to leave, a bunch of the people who ended up establishing those acres of land just left to themselves without, you know, anybody giving them permission. They broke the rules, established their acres, and those are the guys who ended up being successful. So the idea of the video is that most Oklahoma residents basically cheated their way to success. However, most of the natives that were there before the Oklahoma Sooners established their land were nomads. They were kind of going from place to place, and they kind of vacated the land mysteriously. And they found later in ancient scribes that they were in the middle of Tornado Alley, and nobody could feasibly establish buildings or societies in this center of Tornado Alley for long without their shit getting destroyed. And people often saw it as God punishing the Oklahoma Sooners and their descendants for their sins. And there was the whole 99 I think I talked about this in a previous stream, as a matter of fact. I find it to be a very fascinating video. That's the main point, about God punishing the Oklahoma Sooners for their Sooner sins. But it's very interesting because as an effect, an after effect, most people are often given the luxury of 100% psychological certainty that all of your livelihood will be maintained throughout your life. No risk of it being toppled over. And so there is a lack of appreciation for it, right? Naturally, as one would expect. But the Oklahoma Sooners, they get to experience a God-given luxury that many few people get. And that luxury, coincidentally, is awarded to them through the inevitability of the destruction of their livelihoods, and they appreciate their livelihoods for whatever limited amount of time they have it, which is very, very interesting. They measured the happiness rates of the people in Moore, Oklahoma, namely the people who had recently survived life-threatening tornadoes, people who had lost everything, and these people experienced life moment by moment, which, as everybody knows, is the way to experience life with maximum happiness. Everyone talks about live life in the moment. We all know this, but very few of us actually commit to doing it. It's not just committing as if it's a choice. Many of us are psychologically tooled to not do that. A lot of things involving our day-to-day jobs, college pathways, aspirations, this idea of success and judging people by their age relative to their success and setting it as an end goal to be on the grind, the hustle, as if there's an end goal in sight that will actually make it all worth it. Regardless of whether or not for the individual the end goal is worth it, the fact of the matter remains, those people are robbing themselves of happiness. I keep thinking about that stupid article, that stupid hippy-dippy article my mom sent me about how time is not money. You think you're saving time by, saving up money for retirement when no matter what, you'll have the same amount of time to experience enjoyment of life no matter what. Let me catch up on chat. I'm cleaning my PC in case the dirty dust bunnies are not making it turn on. Very good, very good. You've learned from the computer masters, which is very great. I'm glad that you can. I know there's the fan. Clean that. It is a very dirty process. There's also, I remember my dad had an old PC. There were probably maybe 3 mosquito nets worth of dead bugs that just flew in there. That fan, it was brutal. Also, our house was humid, so I'm sure a lot of bacteriums grew, which were very good for mosquitoes to feed on, and they just were buzzing all around. It was gross. Don't worry, that was our old house, all right? Just overdose on DMT. I wish I could pin comments, but I'm on my stupid phone, so I can't do that. Do you like rap? Okay, thanks, Foos Black, with, what is it? Is that? Oh yeah, Calvin and Hobbes penis image. Welcome to the stream. We also want to give I wish I had something prepared. God damn it. Do we have anything that'll help? No, that's not it. Yeah, I wish I had some sort of graphic or something to welcome people in. Well, we'll try our best. Welcome to. Hold on. Welcome to the stream, Foos Black. It's a pleasure having you here, and reminds me to do the score of the day. That's the score for today. Score for yesterday, excuse me. Okay, our score for yesterday is a 7.1. We attended multiple events, and what we found out is the one that we expected to be the worst one ended up being the better one. I could go through all of the ridiculous, I hate to use a Gen Z term, but tea. I could spill it, but I'm going to keep it secure in the cup so it can rot, and I never have to open that stinky piece of shit again because, the Lafayette Hotel had a lot of a luxury to it, but the circumstances around me being at that event were full of so much ridiculous high school drama, and it's actually so stupid. I know I rant aimlessly about things that are very personal to me. This is on a whole other level of dumb that for me to even, have an inner monologue about what happened yesterday would just be a waste of my cognitive time, so I'm not even going to get into it. My score for today so far, because nothing has fucking happened, is a nice, good old meaty 5.2 out of 10. I'm building some Legos right now. Ian30 says, what set? And Caden says, Kingfisher. Set 10,331. Okay, and while the boys are bonding over their shared love of real life, what is it? What are Legos like? They're like Roblox, but in real life. That's what Legos are, I think. I don't really know what Legos are, but you guys tell me in chat. What if a video game was in real life, what video game would fit with Legos? So you guys answer that question. It's humid in my room, so the dust is sticky. That is quite an image in my head. Sticky dust. I don't know why that really unsettles me. Sticky dust. That kind of ruined my flow for the stream. I was doing pretty good until I thought about sticky dust. It's not your fault, by the way. MSGGG. What's your favorite kind of paper? Very common question. We get this all the time. I personally prefer Staples paper. You can find it at your local Staples. 8.5 by 11. There is bleach in it. However, they really try to be bleach efficient. So per sheet, there is about 0.003 repeating. There's about 1/3 of 1/100th of a droplet of bleach per sheet. So, and I did this whole comparison, right? Reverse osmosis filtered water has about 1.5 drops, as loose of an estimation of an amount of water or amount of bleach that could be, or amount of liquid that could be. That is, you imagine what a drop would be. About one and one half, 3/2 of a drop of bleach per liter of filtered water, meaning that 3 sheets of paper contains less bleach than just 1 normal healthy liter of drinking water. I use that as my smoking gun because it is a fact, and I know my grandma is watching, per the letter. So enjoy drinking your filtered water, Grandma, because just know, you and we are a lot more alike than you'd think. Also, we're stopping at day 1000, so just don't have a heart attack, please. Hello, I am late. You really aren't that late, honestly. We are only, 5 minutes in? I am less able to look at my stuff now, but I assume we're 5 minutes in, because I have OBS pulled up here, and I have my phone with chat pulled up here to, go back and look through the stupid video and look at the playback number. You get it. You guys can look for yourselves. The closest video game to a Lego set is Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. I'm more of a Lego Indiana Jones guy. Also, whenever I've played with Legos, I feel like Lego Indiana Jones fit a little better. Where are the real-life lightsabers? It's just a blue Jolly Rancher, But nearly everything in Indiana Jones, except for, of course, the glowing blue coins, which, of course, you never found. Actually, no, they existed, but in extremely small quantities. Everything in Lego Indiana Jones was, in fact, in the sets. Stupid lightsaber pieces never glue. Or never glowed. Past tense. Listen to this bomb song called PCs and J-Cats. Well, here, what if I, Well, if I do it on here, I won't be able to hear it. Only you guys will. Alright, fuck it. Can it actually connect? Hold on. Alright, we're still figuring out the technicalities of this. Here. Oh, that's the wrong window. That's the FAFSA thing. Ignore that. Hey, man, we gotta get our money. Let's see. Can't I just, link it to a different thing? Okay, I guess we gotta link it to the... Apple is so stupid. Tim Apple really fucked up his design for this, because if I click the Google Chrome thing, it only pops up the other... Okay, there we go. You're telling me I just can't connect it to a new tab? This is why I gotta prepare shit in advance. Alright, well, I wouldn't be able to hear it if I were to play it on the browser anyways. I'm trying to exploit OBS for all that it's worth, Don't blame me. I'm giving it a shot here. Most of the dust is on the outward end of my PC, so at least I know I have good airflow. This is very good. PC sticky dust metrics. Oh, yeah, right. We didn't update you. So we're going to be doing kind of a variety streaming show, kind of, ranking every ethnicity tier list, blah, 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 blah. Miscellaneous bullshit content. I know people won't flock to it like they do this. However, if I don't stop at day 1,000, what's the next significant milestone that'll be on par? Day 10,000? Day 1,000, to me, that is the natural ending point. Lego Batman is where it's at. The only time I've heard anything about Lego Batman was, in fact, the movie that got, a 3.4 on Letterboxd. So that's all I know about that. I'm usually either right at the beginning or right at the end. I baked far too many cupcakes for a bake sale today. Wow, you changed subject really quickly. But, if you have too many, feel free to ship them over. Actually, you're in Britain. Never mind. They'll probably be rotten by the time the plane ships them over to San Diego. Never mind. But I hope you can find other Brits that appreciate cupcakes. They all like their fish and chips, right? So just find a couple. Find a couple of the people who are different. Although cupcakes are kind of inherently British, right? I know when we were at the Koningsdam, they gave us it was a weird British-themed culinary experience, what is it, tea and biscuits? I know that's what they did, yeah. And the Koningsdam supposedly tries to be very culturally faithful, and so I was tasting some of these biscuits, and I'm just this is a couple of grams of sugar away from just being a cupcake, honestly. So if you guys appreciate biscuits, just add some frosting on there, and you got basically a cupcake. Actually, call cupcakes frosted biscuits, and you'll get way more business. Also, Caden is a good name. Probably one of the better Aidens. Yeah, what is the alternative? What? Braden, Aiden, Graydon? Ew. Lego Batman movie is fire. What do you mean? I have only seen the trailer. Although, to be fair, I hated the Lego movie trailer. I actually ended up kind of liking the Lego movie, so. You know what? As Martin Luther King said, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe you're right. I'll add that to the watch list. Tea parties, God, I love. I know. I feel like, again, if tea parties are such a huge part of British culture as well as our culture. I mean, again, that's how we were able to create our nation, through a really cool, wholesome tea party. I imagine that if you were to phrase any dish or kind of around the metric of tea and biscuits, right, what a tea party is, you could definitely get lots of British patronage, right? Call cupcakes frosted biscuits. Dude, the toothless people will start walking in the door like it's nobody's business. Lego Batman's... Okay, let me ask you this. Riddle me this, Caden. Is it better than the Lego movie? I know everybody was hyping up that stupid Lego Pharrell documentary, and I'm like, this is an actual dollar store version of the Lego movie. Like, why? I know it's a creative idea for a documentary, but there was a moment where Lego Pharrell was sitting down, and he had to sit down on a staircase, and the stairs were half the size of his legs, as most staircases are. And there's no knees. You can't bend the legs in half on a Lego minifigure, and they literally just detached his torso from his legs and just did this. It looked so bad. The Lego movie would never commit an atrocity like that. So, whatever. The Joker is pretty much gay for Batman, and you're not answering my question. I'd say it's better than the Lego movie. Well, okay then. It's on, bitch. I'm going to challenge you on that. And of course, everyone knows that art can be objectively measured. So I'm going to objectively measure that movie, and we're going to see who's the top Lego movie and what the bottom bitch Lego movie is. Faden is a real name, too. I really thought for a moment, my brain thought you were kidding, but I realize now, no, it's not. Faden is an actual name that I've heard. There are people out there that are named Faden. Okay, let's actually... Can't I just... Okay, evidently not. Okay, let's get rid of this, and let's restart. Alright, hold on. Pardon the BLM screen for a split second. I'm actually going to try and make the screen capture work in real time. This looks so stupid. There we go. Actually, yeah, this is what I want. Display capture, window capture. Wait, no. Wait, yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay, excellent. And now... Yeah, like, what famous people named Faden are there? Faden Brown? This poor soul. Oh, he's like a javelin player or something like that? Oh, wait, where's the... Hold on, give me a second. We gotta do that. You know, I'm a pro. I'm a natural at this shit. There we go. And then on top of that, add... No, not scene 3. Bugger off. There we go. Can I just do media source? Is this a thing? Oh, here we go. No. What? Can't I just copy the... I thought I knew how to do this like a week ago. Well, apparently I don't. Video capture device, right? Just add existing. Just do the one in the other... Alright, it actually is freezing. Well, you know what? Just pretend that there's like a little thing down here on the lower end, and it's just my face, all right? You don't even need my face here. All right, what matters is Faden's face. I mean, you can kind of see in his face that he feels a lot of reservations about having a name like that, you know? Faden Lewis. Okay, well, she seems pretty content. She's made peace with her awful name. That's Alfonso. Oh, wait, that's Sharon. Wait, this is Fadeni. Okay, well, maybe Faden's not that popular of a name. Caden says they're Arabic. You would say this person's Arabic? Very interesting take. Ah, yes, my favorite Arabic Faden. Yeah, no, she was very unhappy. She lived a life full of torture. Hey, Faden. That just sounds like a slur. It just doesn't sound right. Like, there are just those names that always have a negative connotation. No matter how you say it. Faden, it just sounds so weird. It just sounds so bad. I don't know where Caden got the Arabic thing from, but, you know, Caden has a sense for, you know, ethnic names. He thought I was Nicaraguan when he first met me, but he got it twisted. When he first met me, I was simply talking about my scrapes with their government, all right? And I had to be an undercover agent. In order to do so, I simply had to do brownface and disguise myself as them. So I understand without too much context how it can seem, but I am not Nicaraguan. As a matter of fact, I oppose their views, their ideas, and their governmental structures fiercely, so... My friend is white as heck, but we joke that his parents were too high and named him that. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's true. Like, if you're trying to just say another more neutral Aiden name, if you're slurring your words because you're high off, if you're high off an unnamed substance, I mean, you could probably slur it, especially when you're, maybe if you're high in the office at the, governmental birth certificate naming room or whatever, however it works, and you go, it's Faden, I'm Faden right now, and they're like, You're faded right now, or you want to name your kid Faden? Well, whatever. I get paid maybe $18 an hour. So how about that? The kid's name is Faden now. Bada bing, bada bang. A kid is cursed to be bullied for the rest of his life for something he didn't even do. Don't do drugs. This is why you guys don't do drugs unless you really want to. My name means meth in some language because my parents misspelt it. What's interesting is if I'm thinking through the context of generally ethnic languages, Myra seems like a very common word. Here, let's keep looking at Fadens. Let's just look at, well, no, yeah, it's because I put the E there. It's just a magic card. This is an unrealistic fantasy of what a Faden should look like. There is no Faden that is this alpha. Dak Faden. What type of card is this, huh? Draws 2 cards. Oh, it's just I hate these blue decks. All the blue decks that go through just milling through your own deck just to find the best cards. Why not just make your entire deck awesome so you don't have to fucking search for the good shit? Gain control of target artifact. Yeah, the Izzet is blue-red. The Izzet control decks are so just garbage to play against. Every single time I play against any one of these decks, it's just actually no fun. At least just attack me with some creatures or do anything. Do anything interesting. Beef up the board. I call these decks anti-confrontational. These are the introvert decks. You get an emblem whenever you cast a spell that... Gain control. It's so not fun. It just snatches your shit. Imagine you play chess, and instead of actually making smart board moves... yeah, I just gained control of your queen. Get out of here. Ian and I are strictly straight edge. Ian told me in an alternate story, he said that he ate, I'm on public on the internet, he ate too many green grapes, and the fructose and the sugar from those green grapes gave him, he called it a pregame. I don't know what that is. I thought he was talking about the Chargers. But he was describing eating some yummy fruit with sugar in it, and that amped him up for the performance. So I trust that you're straight edge. In fact, the way you talk and the way you walk and talk like somebody who has never done it before, which is good. But and it is a little awkward because Ian's here, but Ian, I am glad that you kind of popped the proverbial cherry and just ate those yummy grapes and got a buzz off the fructose before you did your concert, which is good. Myra is a part of my name, not my first name. Very interesting. I would never use substances, Brienne. Oh, I didn't even see that first chat, which makes it even funnier that I responded by outing him for being a grape eater. He was telling a fairy tale. He doesn't eat high fructose green grapes. No, I get it. When people are high, they tell tons of false stories. Also, Ian, if your ghost is still here, I'm about 20% sure your Instagram got recommended and that jump scared me. That's true. His Instagram username is identical to his YouTube username, except for there's slight more. I feel like his English teacher might have gotten tapped into his YouTube because there is a capitalized first letter. I do not think that exists with his Instagram. So, Ian30 on YouTube, slight MLA formatting. Ian30 on Instagram, a little more loose and punky. Drop a follow. Very good. I only like purple grapes. I don't know what that means. That must be some jargon that I'm unfamiliar with. There's got to be a real-life Faden that's better. Yeah, it's just the stupid Planeswalker from MTG and then just this poor guy. We have last name Faden. Yeah, Faden Brown. Who the fuck would name their kid this? It's not the most common name ever, but it exists. Kai, Faden. Yeah, these are all last names. Faden Bias. That's not a real... I don't think that's a name. Francis Faden. Yeah, we don't have too many people with the first name Faden. This guy is happy because it ain't his first name. It works better as a last name. Rich Faden. Okay, well, that as a whole is a pretty shit name, so... Look at how forlorn he is. In fact, he was so embarrassed. He doesn't want to be recognized on the internet. He decreased his photo resolution to, like, 120. Poor Rich. Dick Faden. No, this guy... Yeah, I don't think he's ever smiled once in his life. That guy has no laugh lines. Okay. Let's stop fucking around. Let's stop lollygagging and just finish this paper. Okay. There we go. Faye Den on Spotify. There's no way. If we're talking about previewing some music, okay, let's give this a shot. It's gonna be bad. Oh, never mind. That's a user. And it's all... Yeah, it's all just... Okay, never mind. It's all just British drill songs. Never mind. All right. You see, I'm just always trying to find an excuse to lollygag. All right, let's actually get on task. Ian, you're loud and wrong. Frozen green... Very good. Myra, assert yourself, okay? If someone gives an incorrect opinion, which, by the way, every single time I've eaten purple grapes, they're always over-expired. Or they're, like, really mushy. Like a couple worms got into the grapes and fucked them up. I don't think I've ever eaten a normal consistency purple grape. The green grapes, it's interesting. Grapes deteriorate and they perish quickly, but I eat a greater quantity of ripe, fresh, non-mushy green grapes than before. And I think that's really special. So, and by the way, a chef I'm following, his name is Grant Oshotz. He made this post. It was very interesting. And he said that there was a luxury item. A luxury item are peeled green grapes. Apparently, the skins are like the worst part of the grapes, but it's hard to peel them because a lot of grapes are just liquid. So if you make one wrong incision, it'll just leak and you'll lose half of your grape juice in the aforementioned grape. But Grant Oshotz is very technically skilled as a chef. I watched the Chef's Table episode on him. That's why I follow him. And he was talking, I mean, look him up. You'll find his latest post is probably about the grapes. And the perfectly peeled grapes are like an actual luxury. They look a little weird, but you know, it's kind of like if you peel like the skin off of your finger and it's just raw flesh underneath. It just doesn't look right. They look very delicate, but apparently when you eat them, the texture and flavor experience of the skinless grapes, it's actual Michelin level. Supposedly, according to this Michelin star chef who needs money and is trying to market his restaurant. So, I don't know, whatever. Cotton candy grapes. Are cotton candy grapes kind of like, because they're genetically modified, they're kind of like those weird, like, microplastic cherries, right? Like the ones that you find at Sunday stores. Also, this is the last piece. All right? And I got this one too. And Kaden, to your question, is she 5? Very close. She's 15, so you're almost there. I think. Wait, no, she's a little older than that, like 16, 17. She's in high school, you know, she's figuring her stuff out, okay? Cotton candy grapes are a natural part of the process of discovering your own identity. Kaden, you ate some weird shit. You had your phase where you were figuring stuff out. I remember you were eating lots of different shapes of pasta and whatever, you know? Everybody's got to find their phase. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember the first couple streams, I ate sticky notes, you know, and receipt paper with those chemicals that would make your liver deteriorate. So we all got our phases. This is a judgment-free zone, all right? Don't judge unless, you know, you really want to or it's funny, so. Oh, no, not MSGGG. It's Myra. Myra's the person in question. She's the one, you know, with the spotlight on her right now. Okay. Perfect. One more piece. A little bit of a short stream this week is very wacky. However, when we find a more consistent schedule next week, my hope is I will be consistently, what is the word? The word's not collaborated, calibrated. I was almost there. I will be consistently calibrated. cognitively speaking, and I will be able to give streams that are more consistent, longer, more involved. We'll be able to browse the internet with an actual like little square with my stupid face down there, so we can have like a full setup. It'll look totally high class. I get paid no money to do this, and it'll be hard to believe because this looks super professional and expensive. So I am happy to always contribute to the internet. I wish I could do it more. This stream is probably too short, but either way, we're here. We did it. And you're here. You did it. Thank you so much for watching day 916 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. We're doing the Drain Gang talk. That's about time for me to dip out. And before you dip out yourself, remember this. You're here. And that's what's important, all right? As Woody Allen, famous pedophile, said, 80% of success is just showing up. He sure showed up. And as always... Oh.